And he plays guitar with a chainsaw attached to it. So the bit was he was just going to come out and play guitar and turn on the chainsaw, and that would be it. But he didn't say that he was going to cut the desk. So he had a reason to have the chainsaw. But I mean, I actually kind of really, this is one of my favorite moments, from that show, because it is.
It's real.
It is real.
It's a real moment.
There was actually sort of basically was channeling, trying to copy David Letterman basically here. There was this moment I used to love when I was a kid where he had Harvey Picar on, they did a movie about him a few years ago called American Splendor. He was a cartoon artist, and he had testicular cancer also, and he came on and he said something that pissed off Dave, and Dave sort of kept saying, "Oh, take your little weekly reader, rainy day pamphlet, fun pamphlet for boys and girls thing." So I said all those lines in this to this guy. I took out a CD and I go, "Oh, take your rainy day fun CD for boys and girls," So it was an act, it was an act, but it was also, I was mad. So that's the answer. I feel like I have to explain that because I do get a lot of crap for that, though.
No, that's a good explanation.
Fuck those people on message boards and friggin' chat rooms and everything else.
Yeah.
They clueless. I get so pissed off sometimes. I stopped reading.
Tom is hosting tonight an hour-long special. It's from 5 to 6. It's on Raw Dog, which is Sirius 104, XM 150. What are you doing on that? Are you just talking a lot, or phone calls, or playing bits?
Yeah, we're going to go and take some phone calls. My friend Sean, who's on tour with me, is coming in. We're going to just sort of talk about the tour, probably play some comedy bits, and
cool,
and take a lot of phone calls and goof off.
Speaking of the stand-up, Luke in Edmonton saw you recently. Luke?
Good evening, boys.
Hey, Luke, that was our first show, our first weekend.
It was, and I felt like Jimmy there, creepily sitting next to you, eating lunch, and I said, Tom, can I get a photograph? And you took it with me, and I was forever grateful. My girlfriend was tickled. I felt really like a creep. So thank you so much.
Wait,
thank you, Aunt Luke.
Yeah, that was cool.
Really, Luke. It says
tickled.
What Tom wants to hear. It says
son tickling your girlfriend.
Tom Green was brilliant. Why aren't you telling him that?
Oh, he was absolutely beautiful. On the stage, the nut humor, you can't get enough of that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I listen to you guys. You just can't get enough of it. And I'm certainly hoping Jimmy comes to Edmonton, not just for Rich Boss's wedding or anniversary or divorce, just to come here and actually do another show with Patrice. Like, these people absolutely broke.
Thank you.
Great club up there called the Comic Strip. Jesus. You should go play that.
I'd like to perform up there. I'm doing Montreal this year, I think, for the festival for the first time in years. I haven't been to Canada in a long time.
You should do a little Canadian thing, Jimmy.
I want to do it.
Let's go to Dave in New Hampshire. Dave?
Hey, guys. How are you? I just want to ask Tom if he can explain the cow's head in his parents' bedroom. And, Tom, I met you from Blount one time, tried to buy you a drink on New Year's Eve of the millennium, but you were too busy trying to find your contact lens.
Okay.
It's funny what they remember.
I don't wear contacts.
Yeah, the cow's head.
That was just what he told you because you were annoying him, sir. Yeah.
The cow head was we put a cow, walked in my parents' bedroom and put a cow head in their bed. And but it was actually a sort of a spontaneous thing. We were doing another bit with the cow heads, and which is probably even harder to explain, but we were doing a bit called Cow Brain Boat. That's one that's never aired on MTV. Probably a good thing it never did. But basically, I made a boat out of some cow brains, and it was on my public access show. We went to a slaughterhouse. We got these 4 cow heads. We took the brains. We fashioned a boat out of it, and then floated it off down the river. But we had these cow heads, and we had to get rid of them at the end of the shoot, and we were sort of dropping them off in the dumpster at the school near my house, and then we thought, we should probably just go toss one of these in my parents' bed. It's 2 in the morning, what a waste. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So we brought them in and put them in the bed and said, this is a message from Don Corleone. It says, Luca Vrazzi sleeps with the fishes. Yeah, so
couldn't have been happy about that. Yeah, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, it's
memories, right?
Probably not one of the better ones to talk about on the radio.
Don't you like when people walk up to you and ask you where you get your ideas from?
Yeah.
That's when he says, "I'm looking for my contact lens. Leave me alone."
Exactly. Yeah, Tom, you said you were looking for your mini pony. I couldn't think of mini horse.
Mini, what are you going to say? Mini
I was going to
pony?
say pony, and then I thought mini horse. I'm like, that's not a word.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. I said something that didn't make sense.
It's an odd question to answer. How do you answer that question? I mean,
I pretend I didn't. I'm deaf.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say I don't understand. What did you say? And I make them repeat it until they walk away.
You must have gotten this a lot. Oh, boy, don't be using this on your show now.
Yeah.
Don't be using this on your show.
He's going to talk about us next.
Don't worry, I won't.
You're a fucking dullard.
It's like at a party or
Yes.
something.
I'm not going to talk about you unless I need to clear a room out.
He's gonna use this on his show, I bet. Nah.
I always just tell people, I just give them some stupid answer like, life experience. It's fucking awful.
Yeah.
You don't say life experience.
What else am I going to say?
Well, you just ignore it.
My process?
Make
Nobody
believe
wants
you
to hear
didn't
my
hear it.
process.
My process.
Boring.
We got a urologist on the phone, which is very good news. Evan in Bayville. Evan, he's going to explain
How
the
you doing,
locator
guys?
for Jimmy. Yes.
I just wanted to explain to Jimmy why after vasectomy or testicle removal, there's no change in the semen. Basically, only 1% of the fluid comes from the testicles. Most of it comes from the prostate.
Okay.
So there's usually no change in anything except there's no sperm there. And with the one testicle removed, you got a normal other one, so there's no change.
Hey, Evan, good news. It stays chunky.
As chunky as you like, yeah, sure.
All right, because
Wait,
that's
no-
what Jimmy's worried about, the chunky factor.
Yeah, no sperm, so is it the same color or is it only clear? Does it have a different viscosity?
It should have no change.
Jimmy just wants to know if it tastes
There
the
we go.
same.
It's good to have that clinical thing backing me up, you know, because I have a feeling that when I say that it's exactly the same, a lot of people don't believe me.
They probably don't believe you. They think you're lying.
Tom, everyone, I mean, these phones are still lit, man. Still lit for you. Tyson
awesome.
in Oklahoma. Tyson?
Hi, morning, everybody. What's going on, Tom?
What's up, Tyson?
Hey, man.
How are you?
Hey, I'm just wondering, man, you still play guitar and add that into your stand-up?
Yeah, I do. I do actually pull the guitar out in the middle of the show and I do the Bum Bum song live. It's supposed to be a surprise, but but there you go. I blew the surprise.
The
This
big
was
hit.
Yeah, the big hit. Went to number one on TRL.
Yeah,
That
but
was a
what
crazy
was
story,
that
but
thing?
MTV, they
Remember
made me
you
retire
doing
that.
How about just be quiet, Tyson?
Yeah, Tyson, you're fucking panicking.
Jesus.
He's trying to explain something and you're
he's gone.
panicking.
I pull the guitar out for a minute and do a couple songs. I sing a song from the movie Road Trip, the Salmon song, and just two little songs in the middle, which is fun. And I do a guitar solo, which is fun. But for the most part, it's just no props or anything. It's just straight stand up.
What did MTV make you retire? They made you retire?
Okay, well we did the Bum Bum song, which we basically wrote, on a napkin in Seattle. And thought, okay, let's see. We went and took a bunch of Polaroid pictures around Seattle and thought, okay, of a bunch of things I could stick my bum on, and then made this song. And we went to the Seattle radio station, and the bit was we played the song on the radio station and tried to get people to call in and vote for it. Well, the show was doing pretty good on MTV at the time, and at the end of the day, it was the #1 song in Seattle. So we went back to New York, and we thought, this is pretty cool. We went back to New York. We told everyone, we got the #1 song in Seattle. We got to try to get this on TRL. So we went on our show that week and said, call Carson Daly, vote for this. We played our video. And it went to #1 on TRL in the very first night. And so then the next day, it was #1 again. And we were sort of beginning of the week. And we get these sort of nervous calls from the MTV executives saying,
them again.
you got to retire. We want to retire your song. And we were like, well, why? We're #1. All the other songs stay #1 for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Well, we want you to retire the song on Friday. It's not a real song. We said, well, it's a real song. Well, you don't have a record deal. Not a record. Well, it's being voted. Total Request Live, right?
Oh, my.
Why can't we keep it #1? And they said, well, to be honest with you, I mean, we've pre-taped Total Request Live next week, so it's all fake. And, everyone's going to wonder why 98 Degrees is on the countdown and not you next week, so, you got to retire it. So we played ball and retired it, and I said I would never say anything about it, but there we go. That's what happened.
So that was what happened.
It was 10 years ago. The show's not on the air anymore anyways. I don't know, Carson Daly had to go out of town for the week or something like that, so they actually pre-taped a week of TRL, and I guess they just kind of faked all the
the requests.
all the
Faked all the
requests.
voting.
It's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
Bravo for the honesty. What's the Hitler story? Is that true or not?
Completely not true.
right,
That was a weird rumor.
It's a big rumor, though.
Big rumor. There was a while there where I thought, oh, is this going to, be something that really kind of dogs me for a long time? And I never did that. Never did that. Never really have done any racial humor on the show. I just kind of, maybe it's a Canadian thing or something like that, but I've just sort of avoided
We don't
that.
even have to say what the rumor was.
Yeah.